This poem is called Bodily Confinement. I am confined to this body that screams I'm from elsewhere, but I've known nowhere else. For this is how it betrays me. Confined to this body, people pull at my hair out of curiosity, attempting to speak a language of cutlery. Entitlement surrounds me. Confined to this body, I'll do what I can to distance myself from that strange land, denying it has any role in who I am. Confined to this body, I'll never blend in, never feel comfortable in my own skin. Instead, I will learn to hate this body. Confined to this body, I take it to a foreign country where people are more confused about me. Where people are more confused about me, unsure of which box to place me in. Confined to this body, as it hardens, tired of explaining again and again how I can claim Jamaica as my origin. I am confined to this body, but it's all people see. And when they get to know me, they realize I am more than just my body. Confined to this body, I will learn to love it for what it is, honoring the ancestors that got me to this place, where I will call home forever and always. Thank you.
Beautiful. Wow.
Awesome.
I hear you, girl.
Yes, yes.
This week in Sunrise Book Club, we are heading to the St. Mary Literary Festival. It's set to feature some 50 writers, including a dozen high school students. Joining us to tell us more about this literary festival is the organizer of the St. Mary Literature Festival, Paul Ward, and authors Kwame McPherson and Shannon Chensi are with us as well. Welcome to Sunrise.
Thank you for having us on.
Yes, thank you for being here. I have to ask, where does this begin? Well, talk to us about the inspiration behind this Lit Fest.
Yes, yes.
Well, my background is not this kind of thing, but I've always enjoyed. I came to Jamaica in 1970 and started reading Jamaica Lavish from the start and enjoyed it very much. But the what triggered this was after Calabash last year, Margaret Busby, who was presenting there, came to stay with me with her partner's a friend I know from London. And it got me thinking about doing something on St. Mary, northeast side of the island. Also something a little more down to earth. I don't want to say anything about Calabash, but Calabash is an event for bigger people, if you like. What we try to do is give everybody a chance. Some high-performing people like we have here today, but also other people too. So the idea is to open it up. But I also help out in a local school with, I went there to help out with maths. We found out they couldn't do the maths because they couldn't read the question. So I turned to helping with reading. So it moves on from there, trying to combine the two, which is why we wanted to include some of the school kids.
Yeah.
So this is good, the St. Mary Literary Festival. I'm thinking, asking the break, how do I submit if I wanted to be a part of the submissions for this year's literary festival? What's the process? How do you select?
It was very simple. I mean, I just used all the contacts I had and starting off with Caroline Cooper, and thank you, Caroline, for helping me from the start. But whatever I could find, I sent out a little flyer I had inviting submissions with some suggestions about 700 words and whatever. And they came rolling in. By the first deadline, we had about 35, so I extended the deadline a little bit, and it went up to about 40 or 50. Probably too many, as some people, it's a packed-up program.
A packed-up program.
But I didn't really want to, and I didn't turn anybody away. We just took the first 50-odd and told the others sorry, basically.
Good. Shannon, we just heard a lovely piece from you, and I just want to know a little bit about, your passion for writing and how it feels to be a part of this festival as well. And also, what a great piece. Thank you for writing that, and thank you for sharing.
Sure. So when I first heard about the St. Mary Lit Festival, my family's actually from Port Maria, and so I knew kind of immediately I wanted to be part of it. Just in terms of my writing, it started after university. I was unemployed and a bit bored, to be honest, and kind of came back. I was always creative, but kind of discovered poetry at that time, and since then have just been performing in different places, in Jamaica and abroad. And
Amazing.
yeah, and trying to do more too in terms of multimedia and thinking about how I can incorporate my poetry there.
Amazing. Thank
That's
you
so
for that.
good.
Yeah.
So Kwame, tell us now, we've heard from Shannon, tell us about Imams Independence and what inspired you to be a part of this festival.
Oh, wow. Writing is my thing. You know, I love writing. I love sharing my stories. And when I first heard about it, I said, you know what? I just want to give back in terms of, you know, my accolades in terms of just my expertise and share. And I thought it's a great idea. So I always give my time to help others and to share and to, you know, stories is my thing, like I said. And I thought what Paul is creating is a wonderful thing. So I said, yeah, why not? I'll give my time, you know.
I could add that, Kwame, this poster, wonderful poster, was designed by Anya Glowden. Went to the pantomime and spoke to her about the festival, and 2 weeks later, she sent me this without even asking. A couple of weeks ago, Kwame did another one, which was also wonderful. So thank you, Kwame.
I love that. I'm curious to know what else attendees can expect from the St. Mary Lit Fest, you know. Tell us a bit more.
Other than what?
Well, just tell us what else we can expect. Like, you know, we're
how much
having...
I have to pay to come in?
Admission is free, so
What did you say?
admission is free.
I love that.
Well, that's because tomorrow...
Meaning lots of performances as well as books will be on sale.
Well,
and,
we
you know,
had hoped to get some. We got one of the publishers is coming, Blue Banyan Books, and thank you, Tanya, for coming. The others are tied up, so the library will have an exhibition. So it'll be the readings on nearly 50 odd, but we have two panel discussions, and Kwame is part of one of them. One on AI and writing, and one on writing in revolutionary movements. And the last one is an advice session for up and coming writers. For the presenters and those coming from afar, we're trying to offer a little traditional snack at the beginning: chocolate tea and bullers and cornmeal porridge and whatever.
I like that.
But we'll see how it goes.
I love that. That's
And then we have, I shouldn't forget to say that Papa Kervin, who I met through one of the people I met at the Poetry Society, introduced me. He lives in Arokabessa. And everybody's offering for free, by the way. We're not paying anybody.
Yeah.
And he's coming along to provide some music at lunchtime. So we're very happy.
Wonderful. It sounds like it's going to be amazing. Saturday, April 27th,
This week, Saturday.
2024. That's this Saturday.
This Saturday.
It's going to be great.
Coming up.
So we heard from Shannon earlier, so it's time for Kwame.
Kwame.
Take it away.
All right, where am I looking? This one? Alrighty. Okay. So this is the award-winning story from last year that I was able to win, and it's in this book done by the Commonwealth Foundation, and it's called Okahi. So I'm going to read an excerpt. The headlamps and strobe lights flooded my rear view. I kept on at a reasonable pace, not speeding, willing my rental car to reach this town's street lights. I was just on the outskirts of Okahi when the cruiser sped up, overtook me, and skidded to a stop just in front of my car, blocking my way. I screeched to a halt. I waited to be approached by the cop or cops, but nobody came from the cruiser. I had glanced at my dashboard clock just as I slammed on the brakes and now saw that 5 minutes had elapsed. I wondered what they were waiting for. Trying to make me sweat? Running my vehicle's plate? I gave it another 2 minutes. Finally, I watched both doors slowly open and 2 state troopers alight. They walked over confidently, one officer tall and thin and the other short and fat, Tweedledee and Tweedledum. I chuckled. With their flashlights blinding me and about a meter from my front windows, the taller one stood back and shouted, "Let me see your hands." I stuck them out my window. The fat one worked his way to the passenger side, brilliant light brightening my car's interior. "Where you headed, boy?" "Boy? I thought this is not 2023? "Do you need to see my driver's license and documents?" I asked. I was not about to call him sir or rise to the bait. "I asked you a question, boy." "Boy, again?" "Do you need to see my papers?" I demanded. "I do the telling here, boy. 3rd time." I said nothing, my hand still out the window. I knew how these traffic stops frequently went, and I could already see tomorrow's news headlines. That is, if anyone ever even heard about my passing, or should I say killing. I was in the boonies, nowhere in particular. No other vehicle around, nothing but a wide expanse of empty land and a town away in the distance. I was alone and isolated. But I was not scared. During the last Gulf War, there was an incident in which my unit and I became separated in the Iraqi desert. I happened on an Iraqi patrol. After a brief firefight, I needed to evade capture, which meant being stealthy and doing grotesque stuff to careless stragglers. I had seen too much on my tour, death a constant companion. I had been scared then.
Next.
Thank you.
So I was in